You were told to be quiet. You were told to shrink. You were told that love meant pain. Here you are. Here you rise. Welcome to Powerful Woman Rising from Narcissistic Abuse. The show where we break the chains of narcissistic abuse, reclaim our power, and step into the unstoppable force we were always meant to be. I'm Azadeh, best-selling author, narcissistic abuse educator, and coach to high achievers. Together, we'll uncover the truth, rewrite our stories, and ignite the power within. It's time to rise, it's time to heal, and it's time to take your life back. Welcome to another episode of Powerful Woman Rising from Narcissistic Abuse. And I'm just going to say, as of this morning, I'm just going to start doing Powerful Woman Rising. Whether you've been in an abusive relationship or not, I have just decided I'm going to extend to all Powerful Woman Rising. We don't want to be limited. That's part of being powerful. We don't want to be limited, right? So let me introduce my guest today. Meet Cindy Witteman. Oh my goodness. I had the privilege and honor to be on her show. It's called Little Give TV Show. And I was on it, I think like 2 weeks ago now, right, Cindy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just vibed with this lady so much. Welcome, Cindy, to our show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. Cindy, I'm reading you, and I am blown away because I know you shared with me when we met that you, on top of everything you do, you're also a mom.
Yes, I am.
To how many children?
We have 6 kids, 5 grandkids, and one on the way.
6 kids, 5 grandkids. Okay, so you are literally breaking everybody's belief system of any time they think they can't.
Even my own.
Even your own. Cindy, 6 kids? What are their ages?
So the oldest daughter just turned 27 earlier here in May, and the youngest child is about to be 11 in August.
And grandkids?
And the grandkids, the youngest one is 11 weeks old, and the oldest one is 6 years old.
And how close do they live to you, the grandkids?
They
And
all live here in San Antonio.
they all do?
Mm-hmm.
So someone like me and my audience is gonna think, okay, when does she have, because I know your routine too, because you shared it with me. You have a morning routine just like me. How do you stay so disciplined in your self-care routine, mom, grandma? By the way, you guys, 5 bestsellers, founder and editor-in-chief of Force magazine. I can't wait to dive into that. But how do you stay in self-discipline of self-care with all of this? How do you do it? How?
Well, I think what I love to say is that I run my calendar. My calendar does not run me. And I think that's really important because I think as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a nana to my 5 grandkids, it's really can get away from you if you just kind of let your calendar just kind of do whatever it does. You really have to be intentional with your time and intentional with how you schedule your time and set things up so you can make sure not only are you able to take care of your business, you're able to take care of your family because family is the most important thing in the world, but then also to recharge your own batteries. And I think that's really important.
How do you manage your calendar? Tell us that. How do you run that calendar?
Well, one of the things I started off whenever I first started my business is I set the calendar up with links. So like if somebody wants to connect with me, I send them my Let's Connect calendar. If somebody wants to be on the TV show, I send them my pre-show interview. If somebody wants to, let's say anything, be on my manifesting podcast. If somebody wants to chat about business, if they want a mentor, whatever the case may be, I have a link for everything, and then they go and schedule their own date and time. I have my calendar blocked off where nobody can schedule in my family time. So I only have certain windows for certain things set up where they're eligible for a recording. So if I'm only recording on Saturdays for a 5 hour span every other Saturday. Every other weekend we don't do anything. We don't plan anything so we can spend time with our kiddos. Just things like that, just to make sure that I'm very intentional with my calendar and I'm not having to say no to family things or other obligations because I'm allowing people to just take up my time.
Okay, so that's like boundaries 101.
Mm-hmm.
So powerful woman rising is all about having boundaries.
Yeah,
Boundaries. It's so you're saying calendar, you're saying times you're on, times you're off, but it's your boundaries.
that's right.
I
Yep.
I really love that you said you don't want to have to say no because here comes if you're just wide open, here comes the opportunity or the link or the person or the situation, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, the kids are calling Nana. They're calling Nana in for a celebration. And
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, and I gotta now go into the mental dialogue and story to figure out which one I need to do. But you already set it
Absolutely.
up. You don't have to.
Absolutely. And it's a twofold because it's really hard to say no to opportunities when they're presented, right? If
Yeah.
somebody's like, hey, I really want to meet with you about Force Magazine. I've got 4 people who want to write in your magazine and, they want to talk to me about all these things, and if you're in a situation to where it's like, well, maybe I could make an exception, then that can take away from your family time or other things you have structured in your life and can cause burnout. So I think that's really important. And I also think it's a big waste of time sometimes to do the back and forth when it comes to your calendar, where it's like, are you available at 3 o'clock? No, you're not. Okay, how about 2? How about 1? How about 7? And then you have to go and schedule it. Then you have to type in it can take up so much time. So I think it's like a twofold where having other people, setting my boundaries, I'm available for this time, this time, this time, and that's it. And then also having them have the control of picking what works best for their schedule and their calendar takes a lot off my plate and it keeps me from having to say no. And in addition to that, I don't have to do the back and forth.
Oh, right. That right there is an energy suck.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. The back and forth. Cindy, tell us about Force Magazine. This has literally, since we met, it has sparked so many ideas in my head for future, potentially you and I, possibilities. But you tell us more about how Force Magazine came to thought, came to execution, and came into a launch. Just how did it all come together?
Yeah, well, it's pretty interesting because I had a fear of public speaking. I founded my nonprofit 8 years ago. We give away cars to single parents. And in the interim of that, I realized that I have a fear of public speaking, which is not good because everybody wants to hear from the founder, right? And so I kind of pushed things off and I wouldn't do interviews and I would be like, oh no, I can't. And I pushed a lot of things off because of that fear. And at some point I decided, you know what? I'm just going to start doing it afraid. I'm just going to say yes to opportunity. Whatever that is, I'm just going to start saying yes because this dumb, fear of public speaking is holding me back. So that led to a lot of things I've done, like with the books and then also the TV show that I have, Little Give that you were on, the manifesting podcast, all the things that I've done, it kind of led me doing it. Some of the best things I've done with shaky hands. And that's kind of what led me there was that doing it afraid. So I went to an event and this person was like, oh my goodness, Cindy, tell me about you. And I was explaining, I have the nonprofit, I'm going on about all the things that I do. And the person says, oh, so what's next for you? And at first I thought, really? How much more can one person do? Right. And I just thought I was kind of insulted at first, like, geez, like now I have to do something else. And I went home that night and then I started thinking about like, is that it? Am I done? Have I done everything I'm ever going to do? Is this it for me? So I got a 3x5 card and I wrote on it, "What's next for you?" every night before bed for 3 nights. And in the morning, I'd wake up and I'd read it, "What's next for you?" Think about it throughout the day. And then the last night, the third night, I actually dreamt that I found in my own magazine and I saw the whole thing. Even though I had not taken the picture of the front cover of the very first edition, I saw it. I saw the whole thing. I saw the name. I saw what it was going to be about. I saw the mission to highlight other people doing extraordinary things to help others, about other people trying to make the world better. I just saw it as a positive magazine that was just going to go global. And I woke up the next morning and I thought, first, that's ridiculous, Cindy. You don't even like to read. How are you going to found your own magazine? So it was just really ridiculous at first. But I was like, but it feels right. And so I decided to write it out. So I wrote it out and then I said, well, I still feel good about it. So I called the publicist and I said, what do y'all think about maybe helping me publish a magazine? And they were like, we think we can help you with that. So then, boom, less than 60 days later, Force Magazine was born, and it's been going for over a year now. And just really, we're in 13 countries. We have 150,000 readers per month. And then we're just doing so many things. It's in print and digital, which is awesome. And I love it. I love it.
Oh my God, it's only a year old and you already have 150,000 viewers, readers,
Uh-huh.
and
Monthly.
it's monthly and it's digital. So what is it
Well, it's digital and print.
and print? So
Hmm.
so someone listening, me, one of my viewers or my clients, what do they have to do to get on, what does it look like to get on Force Magazine?
Well, you can just go to forcemagazine.com. Everything is spelled out there. It has all the details on how to get featured. I mean, if there's anywhere from front cover packages, which we don't have anything available for the front cover package until October of 2025, but we do have space available for August for ad and article. And then the back cover is also sold out till October. So we have all the opportunities available for ad and advertising and everything that you would need to know on the website. We also do Force Awards, which we just named our top 10 entrepreneurs to watch in 2025. And now we're looking for authors and coaches, the top 10 authors and the top 10 coaches. Also searching for the top 10 nonprofits, because as I mentioned, I'm a nonprofit founder. And so I'm always looking for ways to highlight nonprofits and help them achieve marketing without having to spend their mission money to the marketing. And so as far as the nomination goes for the nonprofit, people can nominate the nonprofits that they love for no cost, and then they can vote for them, and we can have voting going on, and then we're going to name the top 10 nonprofits to watch out for. So yeah, so those are a few different options we have at Force Magazine.
I want to be on October's front cover.
You
Sign
got
me
it.
up for that.
Yes.
A coach, counselor, and an author. I mean, who doesn't want that? You guys all listening out there, who look at Force Magazine. I mean, seriously, just the name has
And
such a fire to it.
it does. And it's the full name of it is Forced to be Reckoned with. So it's forced, and then the subtitle is To Be Reckoned With. And I think that each and every one of us have that inside of us. Each and every one of us have a force inside of us that's to be reckoned with, and we just got to let it out. And so that's one of the things I love about the magazine, because it can go anywhere from inspiration to education to how-tos to people forming their businesses. Like, so many people telling stories of resilience, people writing their first book, people writing their 10th book. There's just so many options. And when I first had the idea for Force Magazine and I really started to dial in on what the mission of the magazine was going to be, one of the things I really wanted was whenever you're at a waiting room, whether it be at the doctor's office or the spa or getting an oil change, I really wanted you to pick up Force Magazine and read inspirational stories that can leave you feeling like, I could do that, and see and have that fire in you to say, you know what, I could do that too. And not necessarily pick up the Cosmopolitan that's going to tell you about, the next lip shade, or not there's anything wrong with that, but that's really what I wanted for Force Magazine. And that's what I've been able to achieve over the 1 year plus that we've been doing this, and many more to come.
Yeah, I'm so with you on that. Cosmopolitan's great.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
remember it's all uh it's worked out in a Lightroom. it's it's been fine-tuned and
Mhm.
to a place of really reinforces perfection and shame in
Mhm.
some ways. And so
Mm.
Force Magazine, what I'm hearing, is really igniting the internal fire because we all have it. And
That's right.
so it's tapping into your internal world versus constantly fixated on your external. Because guess what? No matter what, how much money you spend on your externals, it's still going to shift. It's going to change. It's not always going to
Mhm.
be the same. And that's just part of humanity. Biologically, chemistry, we are going to age. So force is something you can tap into at 30 years old or 60 or
Yeah,
70.
any age. We even have a young author who writes in there monthly and just does a beautiful column every month. This last, June, it's going to be coming out here very soon on June 1st. And her article's all about how to find friends and make friends and be yourself. And she's so young. And it's just so, it's amazing because there is a space for everyone in Force Magazine. It's not limited to the rich and famous. It's not limited to people who are young. It's not limited to people who are established in their $1 million businesses. It could be a startup. It could be a first book. It could be a 100th book. It could be an Emmy award winning. It could be a fancy TV show. It could be anyone that could get featured in Force Magazine, which is not something that's available to everyone with every other platform.
No, I really, really like this. Yeah, because
Oh, thank
I,
you.
I really, really like it on a personal level. It's within my value system because so many, like you said, so many are limited
Hmm.
in, for example, um, recovery magazine. Like you have to be in recovery. And
Right.
you can't really, unless you are in some sort of a recovery, which I am. I've shared with you, I'm sober and drug-free 23 years, but that's you have to have that requirement to get into that magazine. But you're saying with yours, you just have to have the force and the fire.
That's right. Absolutely. It's meant for everyone who wants to either inspire someone or be inspired, who wants to educate, who has a passion for what they do. And, I always love it. Like when I interviewed you, it's like the fire and the passion within you for what you do. It's not something you see every day, but I just totally admire that. And I gravitate towards people like that who are just so excited about what they're doing to make the world better. And I just love that about you.
Thank you so much, Cindy.
Of
And I love
course.
this. I know like attracts like.
So true.
You know what? And I'm going to be looking at opportunities because I have an in-house publishing where people are writing books and see how you and I can collaborate because we've written our books. You've written 5 books, right? Tell us
Yep.
about your books because we have new authors that are coming on into my work that are brand new authors that are like a deer in the headlight. Share a little light on what it feels like to be a bestseller author 5 times and now watching brand new authors on Force Magazine. What is that internal reward for you?
Well, it's incredible because, as I mentioned before, I have a fear of public speaking. I don't want to be in the limelight. I prefer to shine the light on other people. And so
Okay.
when 3 weeks after I made that commitment to myself to say that, I was just going to start doing it afraid, I was offered that first book deal. And at first, again, I was like, I don't even like to read. How am I going to be an author? Like, there's no way I could do it. And then I just said, just do it afraid. And I did. And that just can just be a testament that anybody from anywhere, no matter what, has the ability to write their own book, to tell their story, to share the gifts that are within them. So to see, where I was the day I accepted that first, book deal with shaky hands and nervous energy to the woman that I am now and growing through I'm still not only going through, but I'm still growing through the woman I'm going to become. And I know that I will continue to evolve and get stronger and get better. Seeing new authors come through who are doing what I've done, who are terrified and worried, and they don't know what to do is it's awesome because I love to be that support system for them when they don't know where to go next.
Oh, yes, we have a match here, you and I. Absolutely. So, Cindy, have you ever had any kind of whether it's friendship, romantic, or a authority figure or parental harm you so greatly that it changed your life?
Oh, absolutely. As I had shared with you on the show, is I'm a domestic violence, whoa, I'm a domestic violence
Yeah.
survivor, and so that's kind of the beginning of my journey. My journey, I grew up super poor. My mom was very loving, but she was terrible with money, and so we went without a lot of basic necessities for my early childhood. So the way that I decided I was going to fix that was. Is I was just going to make my own happily ever after. And I got married in my early teens and turned into a domestic violence relationship, which, as I mentioned, my mom was very loving. So I didn't really know how to navigate that. And so I just kept thinking, I could cook better, I could clean better, I could talk less, which is never going to happen. I don't know why I ever thought I could do that. And, I just thought I could just continue, I could just try harder and then I could make it work. And it wasn't until one day I was watching Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil said, it's better to come from a broken home than it is to grow up in one. And the minute I heard those words, I like he was talking to me. I just got a basket of clothes and a bag of diapers, and my daughters and I left, and I rebuilt a new life for us.
I love that. I love that so much. And I wanted to give you the opportunity and the choice to decide which relationship you wanted to share. And
Yes.
thank you so much for your vulnerability sharing that. We both have such a passion for domestic
Mm-hmm.
violence because we lived it. We were survivors. And
Yes.
it's not just because I think, oh, I think I should be helping women just because we lived it. We know it.
That's right.
We emotionally, physically, mentally lived that horror nightmare that was
Mm-hmm.
love that turned out to be hardcore abuse. Um,
Yeah.
and how long ago, so you said teens, you got married in your teens. How long ago was it when you left that relationship?
It's been well over 14 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's been
Are
a long
you
time.
co-parenting?
No, absolutely
No.
not. Yeah, no. No, none of that. None of that.
None of that. And you know what, Cindy? But that's so important for my viewers to know because my viewers are overachiever women
Hmm.
that are so ashamed to just even cut that piece off because for the
Yeah.
wellness of themselves and their children.
And that's important to state is the wellness of yourself and your children. And so I'm not opposed to co-parenting at all. My husband has two kids from a previous marriage, and we live in the same subdivision as his ex-wife, and we just co-parent perfectly. We go to band concerts together, we go to their award ceremonies together, and we co-parent like wonderfully. And so I'm definitely not opposed to it. There is a time and place for that. But whenever the abuse extends as far as what I suffered, it's definitely not something the courts would even want to be in place.
Wow. You
Hmm.
just went from what it looks like to have a healthy co-parenting to
Yeah,
that even the flawed court system would not advise co-parenting.
right.
Powerful, so powerful. Cindy, what today, what is your greatest struggle and what is your greatest win during every day of your day in and day out? What is your hardest thing and the most rewarding thing that you live by one day at a time?
My greatest struggle is me. And I think we all experience that where it's like every day it's a new challenge to, do it afraid or to decide that you can do it and not let those sneaky, self-sabotaging feelings get back inside or in your head or to be, worried about stuff. It's a challenge every day. And I think some people think, well, yeah, well, once you become the founder and editor-in-chief of a magazine and once you're the host of a TV show and once you have your own business, and people seem to think that once you get to a certain level, you're going to have it all figured out. And I'm here to say that's absolutely not true. Like I
Right?
told you earlier, I'm going through it, growing through it every single day. I'm turning into a better version of myself every single day and learning from the person I was the day before. And so that would be my biggest struggle is me, overcoming me, and I do it every day. Now, my biggest win is that I've been able to prove to myself that I am worthy and I am capable and I can do the things that I do and that I can serve others and help other people see that they can too.
I love that. So honest because that is the truth. That's the truth. We get in our own ways, and we all do, especially when we're higher achieving.
Yep.
We get in our own ways, and then when we overcome ourselves, that's what you said. When I overcome myself, then it opens up. It opens up. That's so good, so beautiful. Cindy, how can we support you today? I see that you left me a couple of links. How can we get a hold of you if somebody's listening, wants to be on Force Awards? You said on the website, but how else? Is there any way we can support you today?
Absolutely. You can go to forcemagazine.com. You want to get featured? I have all the details there. If you're interested in the TV show and maybe you want to be a guest, I love to highlight ordinary people doing extraordinary things to help others. And you can go to littlegive.com to find out more about that. And the number and one way I would ask people to support is not a financial way. It's if you could go to any nonprofit that you love, like for instance, mine is Driving Single Parents, find them online and just share their content. It doesn't have to be a give. It doesn't have to be $1. It doesn't have to be $100. It doesn't have to be $10,000. You can give, but if you can't afford to, just share that content because you might get it in the hands of somebody who can help. So that's my big ask today.
Yes, I love that. I love that. You guys, such a pure, old school, beautiful way to give. It's not about you're going against all the me, money, money, money to let's just create a space where we're acknowledged
Yep.
and share what other people do. I love it. Well, gosh,
Thank you.
Cindy, thank you so much for being on the show. You are amazing. You are a
Thank you.
true powerhouse, and you did rise from narcissistic abuse and domestic violence. And that right there is huge, huge. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful. I really enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.